The service road snaked through the skeletal remains of the facility's outer defenses, a concrete scar across the ravaged landscape. Elias stumbled along it, his injured shoulder screaming with each movement, the metallic tang of blood thick in his mouth. Behind him, the laboratory pulsed with an unsettling rhythm, a sickening beat of temporal distortion and escalating eons. He risked the glance back, catching a fleeting glimpse of the armored sentinel, the architect, striding purposefully towards the breach in Sector Gamma 9. Its vocoder voice, clipped and devoid of inflection, echoed even through the distance a protocol Omega-7 initiated. Target acquisition, Thorne. He didn't understand the specifics of Omega-7, but he understood enough. It was bad. For Thorne, the escape had been chaotic, a desperate gamble fueled by fragmented knowledge Thorne had managed to convey amidst the temporal instability. The Loom, Thorne had called it a framework, an engine, and Elias felt a creeping dread at whatever it was. Thorne was inextricably tied to its function. Elias's role, apparently, was to get out asterisk. He reached the tree line, the gnarled branches of ancient oaks offering meager cover. He paused, catching his breath, and pulled a crumpled photograph from his pocket. It was a picture of Thorne as a boy, laughing, holding a model rocket, a stark contrast to the man he'd seen moments ago, fractured and manipulated by forces beyond comprehension. A pang of guilt twisted in Elias's gut. He's been dragged into this, he knew, and a terrible certainty began to settle he wouldn't be able to save Thorne. Suddenly, a shimmer rippled the air ahead of him. He froze, instinctively pressing himself against the tree. The shimmer resolved into a man older, harder, with the same haunted eyes as Thorne. He recognized the tailored suit, the expensive watch, the confident stance. He was a perfected version of Thorne, a man who's navigated the labyrinthine corridors of power Elias could only imagine. "You shouldn't have left, Elias," the older Thorne said, his voice smooth and devoid of warmth. He didn't appear surprised to see him. What do you want?" Elias stammered, clutching the photograph tighter. "You carry information you shouldn't possess. Information regarding the Loom's operational parameters." He paused, considering Elias with an unsettling calm. "It is not wise to be a carrier. Your continued existence complicates matters. What are you going to do?" The older Thorne smiled, a chilling display of teeth. "Rectify the situation. Prevent interference." He glanced over his shoulder as if expecting someone to appear. The younger Thorne has been unstable, a deviation from the established pattern. A faint whirring sound grew louder behind Elias. He risked another look. The armored sentinel, the architect, was approaching, its movements precise and unwavering. It tracked him with an almost unnerving efficiency. "Who sent you?" Elias demanded, knowing it was a futile question. "Irrelevant," the older Thorne replied. "You are a loose end, Elias, and loose ends must be tied." He raised a hand, and a small device, almost invisible, materialized in his palm. It emitted a faint, pulsing blue light. Suddenly, the ground beneath Elias's feet began to tremble. A surge of energy erupted from the forest floor, momentarily disrupting the older Thorne's concentration and forcing the architect to momentarily pause. A younger version of Thorne materialized beside Elias, younger than the Thorne he had seen in the laboratory, a teenager, no older than 16, radiating confusion and fear. He stared at his older self with a mixture of awe and terror. "What's happening? Who are you?" the younger Thorne whispered, clutching his side where he had sustained an injury earlier. "Unnecessary correction," the older Thorne said, his voice laced with a strange melancholy. "A pruning of the unviable branch." The architect, recovering from the energy surge, began to move toward Elias and the younger Thorne. The older Thorne's hand tightened around the device. "Your interference is illogical, Elias. Your attachment to this anomaly is a weakness." Then, unexpectedly, the younger Thorne did something that defied all logic. He lunged forward, pushing Elias out of the path of a beam of energy projected from the older Thorne's device. The beam struck a nearby tree, sending splinters flying, but missed Elias by inches. The older Thorne staggered back, momentarily disoriented. "Run!" the younger Thorne shouted at Elias. "Get as far away as you can." Elias didn't need to be told twice. He scrambled to his feet and fled deeper into the forest, the sounds of the struggle fading behind him. He didn't look back. He couldn't. The image of the two Thornes locked in a silent, desperate conflict, an echo of something ancient and profound, was burned into his mind. He ran until his lungs burned and his legs ached. Finally, he collapsed against the base of a massive oak, gasping for air. The sky above him was a bruised purple, the air thick with the scent of pine and ozone. He knew with a chilling certainty that this wasn't over. He was caught in something far bigger than he could comprehend, a tapestry woven from time and technology, and he had no idea how to escape. The Loom, whatever it was, would reach for him again. He could feel it. He looked down at the photograph in his hand, the laughing boy staring back at him with innocent eyes. He wondered if that boy ever knew the darkness that lay ahead. He wondered if he would ever see him again. And then he thought of the Sumerian script he'd seen on the diagnostics panel, symbols of a lost civilization whispering secrets of unimaginable power. Suddenly, another shimmer rippled the air, not the controlled shimmer of temporal displacement, but something else, something organic, something alien. A single, multifaceted eye opened in the air before him, regarding him with an unsettling intelligence. A voice, not from a vocoder, but resonant and ancient, echoed in his mind. The cycle continues. The weaver awaits. The eye closed. The forest plunged into an oppressive silence. Elias stared into the darkness, paralyzed by a fear he's never known. The loom wasn't just a machine, he realized. It was something more. Something alive.